In this video, guys, I want to talk about what is the broker churning scam. Stay tuned. Hey traders, warm welcome to you. Alright, so let's make this one as brief as possible just to give you a warning. I thought this had disappeared actually, if I'm honest, but I've heard this is still going on and certain people are getting caught out and scammed by this. Now, is it an outright scam? Maybe not. Is it dubious? Yes. Okay, so this is why it works. So people who are interested in trading, maybe you haven't got an experience, come along and they go, right, we'll open an account. And maybe there's an advert on Google, maybe there's this, maybe there's that, and they get kind of attracted by a company that says, hey, you know, we are a trading company and we're advisory as well. So we're not just execution only. So there's a kind of difference between the two and there has to be some regulation difference. So, you know, maybe they're not regulated. That's another thing as well. A lot of these companies aren't regulated, but anyway, let's not go off piste here. They say we're advisory. You know, in other words, we will execute trades for you. So you just have to deposit some money and we will execute the trades for you and you just collect your winnings. Now, of course, when I say this in a kind of to the camera, to you guys, it sounds absolutely ludicrous, but you know, this is what scams are. You know, it sounds good. People say, okay, that sounds like a good idea. And the broker is a bit of a salesman. He sounds very good on the phone. He's like, hey, you know what? This is what I do, this is what I've done for other clients. You know, I can manage your money for you, we'll trade it for you, etc., etc., etc. And people go, fine, you know, I'll do that. And how it normally works is you get a kind of a teaser amount. They go, how much you want to put in, sir? And you go, oh, you know what? I'm just try it with £1,000. You know, and they go, yeah, no problem, no problem. So you put in your £1,000, and what happens is there's two things that can happen here, and this is dependent on whether we're talking full fraud or we're talking just a little bit shady. Because let me just be clear here, there are some advisory brokers out there that will do this legitimately for you, okay? They will legitimately say, we've got this idea, you are authorizing us to trade on this idea, and they will say, this is what we're looking for, this is how much, they'll clear it with you, and you trust them and you go, hey, I would trade on it anyway, regardless, so I'm happy for you to do that. And they'll take a bigger commission for it. That's the whole point, right? Take a bigger commission. And there's some brokers out there that are very reputable and will do this with clients. And there's other brokers as well, which are execution only, which don't make any recommendation. You just take your trade, like our channel sponsor, for example, fully regulated, fully execution only. You make your own decisions, you trade. But then there's this kind of middle ground where you've got people who are let's just go down the road of the kind of half scam first. So, you know, middle ground. So they will say, hey, deposit some money. Now they probably, if it was not a proper scam, they wouldn't take £1,000. They'd say, okay, well, the minimum, sir, madam, is 50,000 for this service, blah, 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 and you'd have to deposit that. So you'd stick in 50K. We'll come back to that in a moment. Let's circle back for that. Don't want to forget that one because that's a scam in its own right. So let's say you say 50,000. So you put 50 grand in. And they will kind of start to give you some ideas. They will kind of keep in touch with you, make you feel good. And the idea is with this, guys, is that, you know, you have authorized them to trade on your behalf your money. You've basically done this. Now, if you think about what you've done, you think about who you're authorizing these to, you've basically said that this broker can trade your money on an idea they have, and they will get more of a commission for it. And that's the key to it. They will recommend ideas, and instead of taking, say, I don't know, a pip spread on Euro USD, they'll take a 20 pip spread, or they'll take this, or they'll take that, or maybe they'll take a performance fee. But the trouble you've got is the churn, which is the number of trades they do, can be very, very high. And this is the scam side of it. This is when they say, hey, you've given us the responsibility to trade, we will trade. And they trade too much for your best interest. Now, let me just kind of say there's a ruler here of what I consider scam. You've got fully scamminess here and kind of legal, but dubious here. So we're on this line. At this end of the scale, they're saying, hey, you know what, we'll trade for you. But their motivation is for activity. They're not motivated by return. They're like, hey, this guy's got 50K in the account. If we can churn it a lot, most of that will come to us in commissions legitimately. You know, if you're kind of in and out, £500 a day in commissions, eventually all that money is going to go to the broker in commissions, right? If they're in once and the market goes lower and they're long, they're going to lose to the market, they're going to make more commissions. So they're incentivized to trade actively. This is where the churn kind of scam comes in. They might go, right, okay, now we're going to trade a bit more actively. You're in, oh, you're out, you're in, you're out, you're in, you're out. And you might just be breaking even, but actually you're pushing these hefty commissions over to the broker. Now that might be perfectly legal as well. You might be signing the agreement, you might have understood what you're getting into, but it's still, in my opinion, it's a bit grubby, right? They're not aligned with your interests. They don't want you to do well. They trying to take money off you in commissions by churning your account for you. Churn. Like I say, it's completely separate from execution-only brokers. On the other end of the scale, you've got the full-on scam city, stay away, don't get involved, horrible, nasty, grimy, which is, hey, and this will be unregulated, of course. Hey, sir, madam, try us out, stick £1,000 in, stick £1,000 in. They will then trade it for you and go, sir, madam, look what we've done. We turn that into £3,000 for you in just a week. Now, some people will go, all right, I'll take the £3,000 and they'll make it as hard as they can. Because by the way, this is a lie. And again, I'm speculating here. I'm just telling you things that I've heard. Who knows? And there's no names mentioned or anything, but just watch out for this kind of thing. This is a lie. Right? This is a lie. They haven't made £3,000. I'm telling you they have. There's a statement that says you made £3,000, and some people go, great, I sent my money, and they try and stall it, they try on this, but maybe they do give it back eventually. But most people go, oh, and they say, sir, how can I interest you in more money? Wouldn't you like to make more money? Imagine if that was £100,000 in there, you'd have £200,000 profit. Wouldn't that have been nice? Oh, well, yes, it would. Well, how about you go and we stick 100,000 in there and we carry on with this continued growth? And then sir or madam goes, okay, I think that's like a great idea. Here you go, here's 100 grand. We've proven it to you. Look, we've made all this money for you. Now let's do it with some recent money. You stick your 100 grand in. Worst case scenario, that's it, they're gone forever. Best case scenario, they churn. No, not best case, but, and you give them all the commissions. They, sorry, you know, we lost this time, did all right that one, we lost. Multiple different permutations, don't just go into it. But the point is the kind of the scammy dangle of the carrot on small amount of money, and then the big scam comes in when you check what comes out, you start writing, stroking six-figure checks, and then that money's gone. You know, you're not going to see that money again because that was the kind of bait. They did this with the bait. So that's really the grubby end. But there's another end, which is the regulated end, just about the kind of advisory end, and it's the churning issue. Now, churning is, you know, it's not legal. You know, churning an account for their benefit is not legal, but of course, you know, the FCA are like, well, how do we prove this? It's a very, very grey area. So anyway, so I'm just going to warn you guys what churning is. It's the kind of churning of the account, opening, closing positions to generate commissions. And if you are using a kind of broker that's advisory, be very careful of that. I'm not saying they're not all like that. There's, I say, some very reputable ones out there, some great ones that have probably got some great results. I don't know, I've never been involved with one, but just got to watch out. Same with anything markets, guys. Just think about the other side of the trade. Completely irrelevant, but I think comments on mind. Play chess. Think about who's on the other side of the trade. What have they got to gain? We think about that when we talk about market direction, but think about that in terms of this. What have they got to gain? Why would they want to kind of, you know, make you money when they're making more money from commissions? Why would it be structured like that? You know, just think about things like that. And just if you know anybody who's kind of in this or about to pull the trigger on it, then maybe send them this video. Say, hey, listen, this guy mentioned a few things about it. Maybe you want to look into it. Not saying it is a scam, but just, hey, have a look into it and see if it is exactly what they say it is, and see exactly if you're going to get what you think you're going to get out of it. Anyway, guys, full of scams. There's loads of stuff out there, but hey, if we clear out all the nonsense and we focus on what we're good at, we focus on our edge, we focus on the markets, we can kind of get the results that we want. Take care, guys. See you next one. Bye-bye.